G'day Raiders family, Bourkeys here and welcome. Welcome to the big post-match review of the South Sydney game, and boy, what a game. I watched the replay twice after it was finished, so I got to bed about 3 a.m. and I was really able to pick up some really big intel about a couple of key moments, I think, that really augured well for the game Friday night, as well as augurs beautifully for the grand final this Sunday. I can't believe I'm saying the grand final this Sunday, but I am. My heart skips a beat. I'm sure most of, if not all, Raiders fans feel exactly the same about Friday night, and we've made it to the big one. So, guys, it's a monumental effort. We've got one more to go. Last weekend was the hardest game, I think, mentally, not so much physically, but just the mental application needed to get over the line was huge. But look, let's dive into the top 10. It's a big week. I've got a couple of really special top 10s coming this week before my preview, probably Friday, Saturday. So let's dive into this one. And I said I've just picked at some key moments, I think, through the game, which were quite telling, which probably you may not have picked up as much. But hopefully with what I'm going to talk about here, you can maybe recollect, look back at the replay and just look at some of the things just to keep your mind fresh about exactly what occurred. Number one, I've gone for Joe Tarpany. I thought Tarpany early was brilliant. He made a real beeline for Sam Burgess. He made a real beeline for Liam Knight. He harassed Damien Cook. He harassed Adam Reynolds out of dummy half with his kicking. Tarpany got a couple of really telling hits early to get some mistakes, one from Burgess and one from Dewey, where he really went in out of the line, shoulder hard like he did with Addo Carr a few weeks beforehand. Now, Tarpany's really critical to our whole balance of our side. He's a big guy, 6'3", 6'4", with footwork, can play edge, can come back into the middle third if he needs to. So he's a real confidence player. And I think Friday night he played a lot of minutes, close to probably 65, maybe 70 minutes, which is awesome for us in grand final week. The Roosters have some big mobile forwards as well, which I'll cover in my top 10. So having Joe Tarpany with that type of confidence, it's just going to augur very, very well for us. Number two, I've gone the back four at the 21-minute mark. So I'm talking Kotrick, Rapana, Leilua to Nickel Clockstadt. So I want you to go back and have a look at that passage of play if you could. Reynolds put a kick downfield. I think Nick took it about 15 metres out, made a really good solid run. The next ruck was Jordan out of dummy half, made a really, really good run of 10 to 15 metres. Leilua took a beautiful hard run up through the guts, about another 15, 20 minutes, and Shans took the fourth ruck of about 10 to 15 metres as well. So we've gone from the 15-metre line to the South 40-metre line, and we've got a penalty. Now, that is so, so important. With those back four giving us that yardage work. To get a penalty after the fourth tackle at the 21-minute mark and the forwards had not even done anything, that's a really, really important part of our play and just gives our forwards a really big breather. So that was a really pertinent point of that first half with those four guys doing the hard yardage. Number three, I've gone the Papali, Bateman and Louis tackle at the 35-minute mark. I think it was Tautai made a really hard run and was pulled down just short of the line. Underneath him was Bateman. Papa over the top with Louis, and that saved a certain try under the post. At that point, it would have probably made it maybe 10-6 to South or 10-4 to South, whatever it may have been. A critical moment, a moment that turns, we get the ball back. We're then kicking from the 40-metre line down to the South corner, and we've then had a big set of 6 tackles. That sort of desperation is going to be key this weekend. This weekend, simple things are magnified. So simple things like desperation on your line may not seem big at the time, but they are magnified 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later in certain parts of the field because we've been able to get ourselves out of trouble and maybe force a mistake at their end. You can't underestimate how important that tackle was at that point of the game. Number 4, I've gone for Joey Leilua. I thought his runs were brilliant on Friday night. They were gritty, they were grinding. One of his runs where the ref called held and the ref called play and he actually played the ball. We're lucky to get away with it. But he beat 3 or 4 defenders around that middle area, that middle edge. And with his size and his bulk and his footwork, he will certainly cause the Roosters a lot of damage around that middle area, particularly if Warrior Hargreaves and Cordner, and those guys are in or around the ruck. Leilua has the footwork and the impact to beat them and give us another 10 or 15 metres in the play the ball. So I thought his gains and his runs on Friday night were fantastic, Joey. Number 5, Jack's drop kick second half. Probably 15 minutes to go. The first one he didn't nail as well. Maybe went 30 metres. The second one went 60 metres on the fly. So once again, key moment like that. You get a 60-metre drop kick downfield. You see the ball carrier going backwards, losing momentum, having to take it, then having to pass off. If we can get to the 40, 50-metre line and we're tackling the opposition inside their own half from a 7-set repeat or a drop kick, it is a huge, huge mind game, this. So Jack's type of drop kicks, if he can keep those up in the grand final this week, once again, it just gives you a second win. It gives you confidence and it gives you that momentum that you really need in critical parts of the game. Number 6, I've gone for Nick Kotrick. I thought he was really back to his best on Friday night. He had his chest out, he was bumping, he was pumping his legs, and the nice part about it, which I really love to see from wingers, getting the ball and not going back into the ruck for an easy sort of dink tackle. He was making a real nice arc away from the ruck area, making them chase him just enough to open some gaps up around the edges and poking his nose through. So good to see Nick back after his facial injury a couple of weeks ago against Melbourne. And he brings a really good X factor now on that left edge with his confidence back. He's moving well. He's got that beautiful lateral movement that he's renowned for, just to beat the first man, jink across field and straighten. With his upper body strength and his core strength, he's really going to cause the Roosters some headaches in that middle area. Number 7, I've gone for Corey Horsburgh. A young guy, 15, 17 games in. I love the bloke. He's just got a no-nonsense, gritty, I don't give a crap. I loved his head facial on Adam Reynolds. Nothing in it was not warranted. It wouldn't warrant a penalty. Just a bit of gamesmanship, which the refs took it that way, which is really good. But Horsburgh's going to be in your face, and I can see him and Hargreaves or maybe a Victor Radley really locking horns Sunday night. And if Corey can get up in their face like he did with Sam Burgess earlier on this year and other forwards to power and the like, this is good. We want the Roosters to be ruffled, and Corey's the type of guy, if he can keep his discipline on song, it's really going to be good to see when he comes on next weekend. He's not giving away any penalties anymore, and his fitness has gotten better. He's making the tackle, he's getting back in the line. Tackle, getting back in the line really quickly around that middle third area and not leaving any gaps. Number 8, I've gone for our spiritual leader, Sia. Look, it's hard to know. Clubs would give anything to have a spiritual leader like Sia. There's a few of them around. You've got Gallen at Cronulla, Sia at Canberra, dare I say probably Cameron Smith at Melbourne. Those types of guys are worth their weight in gold to a football club because they don't speak with words, they speak with actions. If you want to have a look at something Sia did, go and have a look at his run before Josh Papali's try on the inside ball from Josh Hodgson. He went straight at Liam Knight and straight at Damien Cook and really made them earn the tackle. Quick play the ball. The next ruck you'll see Papa under the post, which I'll cover to shortly. But Sia's just inspirational. I've maybe got a feeling, don't quote me, but I think if we win this weekend, he may hang up the boots. Hard to say. I'm not sure if he's signed for next year, but it'll be a beautiful fitting way for Sia to retire on his terms if he wanted to this weekend. But he's a big, big, big spiritual leader and a big leader of our side, and that's going to come to the fore on Sunday night. Number 9, I've gone for Josh Papali. If you saw my video, I lost my chocolates and went off my chops when he scored under the post. It was just one of those life moments where, you crave all year for your side to do well, and suddenly that pops its head up with 6-7 minutes to go, and there's just that relief and that emotion that you just can't contain any longer. And that's how I was with Papa. His game was enormous. He is one guy the Roosters are really going to aim for Sunday night. Interesting to see. I think he should start. Without a doubt, I think he definitely should start. But he is now, without a doubt, the best prop forward in the world. And number 10, I've gone the hunter and the hunted. Leading into Sunday night, we are the hunter. We're hunting the Roosters. They've been one of the benchmarks all year, and we're coming to get them. So while they're looking behind, we're looking ahead. And when someone's looking behind, they're not going forward. We're catching them. So I think we are a massive chance, and we're going to be in a good position of being the hunter on Sunday night and not the hunted as we try and kick their butt. So Raiders fans, that is it for this week for my top 10. I could have had a top 20. As I said, I got a few little lurks and perks floating around this week to whet your appetite before Sunday. My big preview of the grand final coming to you Friday. I'm actually going to be in Sydney this weekend, guys. So if you're around for a beer, I'd love to catch up. If you're around the traps, I'll be there from Thursday through to Tuesday. Celebrating the win, staying around Bondi area, so I'll be really getting amongst the latte sippers around Bondi and stirring up a bit of crap as we get forward and look forward to Sunday night at ANZ. So guys, as always, I thank you so much for your love of my Bourkeys Facebook page, my YouTube channel, as well as all your favourite podcasts up and running, guys. As I said, look forward to catching up to the week. And as always, Bourkey, this is Berkey, Bleed Green out.